Hey there, Micah. David here. Thanks for sending your swing over. So I know you had concerns in your email about the loss of distance, and it sounds like you were questioning, hey, what's going on with the length of my swing? Do I lengthen it more? So let's talk a little bit about that. But obviously, I'll do a general review. One thing I'd like to point out at setup, I would not recommend getting any more flexed at the hips. So if anything, I might scoot the feet back just a little bit. If we watch your takeaway, looks pretty good, wouldn't you say? Right up the plane. Now, you're a little bit flat at P3, meaning the shaft, right? We draw a line here. We can see it's aimed outside the ball, where again, ideally I'd like it to point down a little bit more. If we draw a line from the grip end down, that'd be, the better picture. But when we get to the top, regarding your question here, when we're talking about the length of the swing, I think it's very important to be looking at the arm structure. So I am not a fan, and this isn't bad by any means, but I'm not a fan of high hands. You can still have a short swing or even a long swing with having the hands lower. So realistically, we don't want this left arm steeper than your shoulder plane. And it is, but just a little bit. So now don't tell anyone I'm throwing this in here. You've been a long time client, if I can call you that. So don't tell anyone because you did not sign up for the PGA analysis. I changed my model here. But if we look at Kevin Kisner, here's a perfect example. So he's taking the club back farther than you. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about, but he's got that club basically covering the hands, where here's the club, here's your hands. So even though he's taken the club back farther than you, Micah, his left arm is still matching the shoulder plane. This right elbow is pointing directly down. So how do you get in that position? You still want to make a full turn, and you also want to have a wide backswing while really setting the wrists. What he's basically doing is he's minimizing the upward lifting of the arms. It's that simple. So big turn is fine, lots of wrist sets, fine. We just want to avoid the lifting of the arms. But ultimately, I don't see this swing as being too long. So if you're out of the two videos you sent, if you're hitting the ball farther by lengthening your backswing a bit, that's fine. I just would, again, maybe go back to the ball drill just to make sure that you're staying compact. And then the other thing I would say that I think will help you is, again, you look at this position, you're still a little bit laid off at the top. Kind of would like to see this club pointing a little more down towards the ball, but overall, looking pretty solid. I mean, check this out, right? Here's P6, club head's hitting the hands beautifully. And here's that move we talked about, right? You're dropping the head, and notice it's not pulling back nearly as much as it used to, so that's fantastic. So you should be proud of that. So at any rate, let me know if you have any questions, but bottom line, I would not be worried about your swing being too long. From the face-on view, with an iron or a driver, we never want to exceed parallel, in my opinion. Never want to exceed parallel unless you're in a long drive competition. But, there's other reasons why you can lose distance. And I would really advise, you don't have to do this often, but go rent a TrackMan Bay at the PGA Superstore. Where I live, it only costs $30. And then, what you can do is, hey, how's my ball speed? How's my club speed? And if your ball speed and your club head speed are like it used to be, and you're not hitting the ball as far, then we know that, okay, this is a matter of path or attack angle. That's why the ball's not flying as far. Or maybe you're not hitting the center of the club face. I mean, this shot, it looks like you did. But those are other variables that can contribute to why the ball isn't going as far. I mean, you mentioned you lost distance. Now, again, irons are all about control, so that shouldn't really be a concern. sounds like maybe it's more of a concern with the driver. But anyways, appreciate you watching.